Well, let's bring in Dr. Anwar Mhajne. She's an Associate Professor of Political Science and International Studies at Stonehill College and joins us now from Boston. Really good to have you with us, Doctor. Despite violations on Israel's part, as reported by Hamas, this ceasefire in Gaza is largely holding, but we're hearing more and more rhetoric from the Israelis saying that it could well resume the war if not all of the deceased remains are returned. What's your hope for this first phase of the ceasefire? Will it hold?
So we are in a tough, we're in a delicate moment right now. I am not surprised that Hamas hasn't been able to return all the bodies of the hostages in the past few days, because it is a tremendous task, especially with all the destruction in Gaza. And as Hamas stated, some of these bodies are in tunnels that are under buildings that Israel destroyed already. So they will require some assistance and some equipment to retrieve these bodies. And I think if there is a help, and I heard, President Trump has said a few things in the past few hours, but if it is a possibility for Hamas to get some help in finding, locating, and kind of extracting these bodies from underground and these locations, then that would be helpful. And we know Gaza has a lot of people missing under the rubble, so it will also be harder to identify these bodies amongst the other civilians who are buried under the rubble. So again, I'm hoping that with Hamas showing more effort and asking for the right help and receiving the right help to identify, locate, and be able to manage to take the bodies out, then that will help at least maintain the ceasefire for now.
As the first phase of this truce is largely holding, we know that talks are apparently underway for the second phase, and that involves the complete disarmament of Hamas. For now, the group has said that it's not prepared to do this so long as Israel poses a threat to Palestinians in Gaza. What's your hope for the next stage of this deal?
So yes, we are seeing interesting or concerning reports of Hamas assassinating individuals in Gaza, as well as the clashes with some clans in Gaza, and that for Israel and for the U.S. is indicating that Hamas is not attempting to put its weapons down, but they are trying to reassert their control and kind of authority in Gaza. And to be honest, in the absence of any clear plan on who is going to govern Gaza, the day-to-day operations, the fact that the PA hasn't been fully involved in discussions on what happens next, then we will see that becoming a problem. The best solution for this is to immediately start addressing who is going to help govern Gaza, who's going to help maintain security in Gaza in terms of kind of Palestinians on the ground. And when there's a vacuum, Hamas will continue its control and kind of asserting its influence in the Gaza Strip.
There is this ongoing concern that should all of the deceased hostages finally make it back to Israel, that Israeli forces will simply resume their war on Gaza. We know that Netanyahu is under immense pressure from some of the right-wing members of his cabinet. Are you concerned that that might happen, despite Donald Trump saying that the war is truly over?
Yes, I mean, that is definitely a possibility. And we've seen previous ceasefires kind of break down because there was a decision, a very conscious decision to continue engaging and kind of maintaining the war for a variety of domestic reasons for Netanyahu and his government. I think the Trump administration needs to continue maintaining the pressure. Other allies and other parties to the signing of the ceasefire agreement, that includes the UAE, that includes Qatar, that includes Turkey, that includes Egypt. All of these countries has to come together and kind of push and exert pressure on the Trump administration to exert pressure on the Israeli Prime Minister to kind of maintain the ceasefire and respect the deals of the agreement itself. And the reason why I go back to the U.S. because the U.S. is the only entity that could force Israel to still respect the ceasefire agreement. And with a lot of guarantees from the US, that could happen.
Okay, Dr. Anwar Mhajne, we will have to leave it there. Thank you so much again for joining us on the program.